being able to see your smiling faces. Good morning. I am. As you know, this was the week that the last episode of Supernatural aired, and I finished my stint of shooting on Supernatural, which we a long time ago in March. And so I've had a lot of time to process the end, and we all did when we had that big hiatus that we took for COVID. But I kind of thought that I had mourned the passing of the show, and that I had had enough time to process it. And watching that last episode, it was quite an emotional experience for me. It kind of took me out for a good couple of days, just because it for me personally, it represents the end of a chapter of my life, and yet I do have this palpable feeling that this Supernatural fandom isn't going anywhere. That somehow we're going to be able to we're going to be able to stick together as a clan of ne'er-do-wells going forward. So yeah, it's been a strange couple of days though. I feel like I'm just talking to myself on the screen. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask me? Or Steph, do you want to bring in? I know we have a couple of fans that we can patch in on video here.
We'll bring them on as soon as they are logged in.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'm reading some questions here. This is from Sabrina in Uruguay. I'm assuming she's in Uruguay because her handle is Sabrina Uruguay. Favorite memory, making a recipe with my kids and Vicky. Well, we wrote a cookbook last year, or actually 2 years ago. We published it last year. And the process of writing that was really born of doing these strange cooking experiments with West, where we just let him take, run of the kitchen. And he, I think when he made Thanksgiving dinner, which was pasta with jam sauce, that was probably my favorite moment in that entire cooking world with the kids. Very bizarre and totally disgusting. But thank you for the question. Victor Hugo. Hi, Misha. My question is, do you have any work or projects in mind for the future? Say hi to the Misha Migas squad. Hi, Misha Migas squad. Yeah, I do. I do have some projects in mind. I've been working on, I worked a lot on the presidential election and some of the Senate races for this recent U.S. election, and that was pretty invigorating for me. I'm going to do a little bit more work on we have a couple of Georgia Senate races that are coming up in January, and I'm going to do a little bit more work on that. And then I'm publishing a book of poetry, which I'm close to closing a deal with a publisher for that, which is very exciting for me. It's something that I've been kind of wanting to do for a decade or so, and it seems like I finally have the breathing room to do that. And I have a couple of film projects that I'm trying to get off the ground. One of them I wouldn't be in as an actor and probably won't direct. The other one I'm interested in directing and might act in as well. And yeah, that's I think that's all of my projects at the moment. I haven't, a lot of television production has been slow to ramp back up. I am interested in shooting something else, but I don't know. I'm also interested in taking a little time off. So I'm just letting things unfold naturally and seeing what seems most exciting to me. Herminia Canis says, hi, Misha, we know Jack brought Cass back, but we didn't get to see how that played out. What do you think happened, and what is he up to? So there was a different ending originally to Supernatural that COVID restrictions made impossible to shoot. I don't know if I think we're not supposed to talk about what that ending was going to be, but it was very cool. But it involved bringing back lots and lots of cast members from over the years and big crowd scenes, and both of those things were kind of non-starters because of COVID quarantines and COVID restrictions. So in the original iteration of the ending, Cass hadn't gone to rebuild heaven. He had a different. There was a different conclusion for him. So I actually, I purposefully did not read the last 2 episodes before they aired because I just wanted to go on the journey as an audience member and see and watch the episodes, not knowing how the story was going to unfold exactly. I knew a little bit what Cass and Jack's fate were in the abstract, just from conversations. But because I wasn't in it, I don't know what the answer is. I think that Cass and Jack are, there's something about Jack's monologue where he said, I'm going to be imbuing every blade of grass and I will be everywhere. That kind of transcendent interpretation of God, I think, is lovely, and I think that it also implies that there's some sort of more ethereal, metaphysical quality to how Jack and Cass go on to rebuild heaven. Perhaps it's a little bit less boots on the ground and more on a spiritual plane. That's sort of what I was imagining, because I think that that's how Jack had to wind up. And if Jack and Cass are working together, I assume that they're doing it maybe on a similar. This is really weird. Similar energetic level. It's pure speculation because we really didn't explore that. That is, frankly, that's a storyline that will be probably better fleshed out in fan fiction than it will as I just extemporaneously riff here. I'm gonna see if I can find some more questions here. Oh, hi, Steph.
Hi, we have our first fan question on screen for you. You ready?
I don't think I am ready, but I'm gonna try.
Okay, this is Victoria.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I am fine, and you?
I'm good. Where are you? Where are you? Are you in Brazil? Where are you?
Yes, Brazil.
Where in Brazil are you?
Brazil loves you, Misha.
Thank you. I love Brazil. Are you in Sao Paulo?
No, Rio Grande do Sul.
Where?
Rio Grande do Sul.
Okay. I don't know where that is. Is that in the north?
Sorry, my English is.
Do you have a question that you want to ask?
Okay, my question is, what was West and Mason experience of watching a full Supernatural episode for the first time? And I also wanted to tell you something, Misha, which is that I love you and that Brazil loves you. Thanks for Castiel. Thanks for everything.
Thank you. That's very sweet. My kids don't. They can't watch scary things at all. So they haven't watched. They haven't watched a full episode of Supernatural until the finale. But I was with the kids, and I knew I had to watch that last 2-hour special as it aired. So I decided to let them watch along with me, and predictably, I was like Western Mason said, Dad, will you just tell us, if there's a scary part coming up? And I said, well, unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm not going to be able to tell you when it's a scary part. I mean, I think we might be able to discern. And then, of course, the episode starts with these evil clowns decapitating a family, and it's quite horrible and absolutely terrifying. Like the kids getting dragged out from under the bed, and both of my children looked totally shell-shocked. So Supernatural might, it might have been good for my career, and it might have built up a big fandom around the world, but it also has irrevocably traumatized my 2 young children. So there's a trade-off there. They did. West immediately when we were done with the episode, he was like, "All right, I need to watch something else to get that out of my head." And I said, "Okay, what do you want to watch?" And he said, "I'm going to go watch Curb Your Enthusiasm." I thought it was funny that his palate cleanser, his emotional palate cleanser, was Larry David, which is really not an appropriate show for children either. So I think all in all, I'm doing a pretty shitty job insulating my children from the horrors of the world. That's the takeaway for me. Brazil, man. I think I was planning to go to Brazil for a convention last December, and then maybe this coming December, and both of them didn't end up working out. So maybe I'll be in Brazil in another year or so, if we get a vaccine that works around the world. All right, I'm going to find more. Wait, I know what I need to do. I need to go into that. Holy smokes. Guys, you're typing questions really quickly. Hold on, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to screen cap so I can you guys just slow down? Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Victoria. I'm from Brazil. Hi, Victoria. I am I have a question here from I can't pronounce it. Apollinaria. From Polina. Hi, Polina. Polina from Russia, and I wonder what qualities Castiel is like with you. And am I ever going to Russia again? I would love to go to Russia again. I don't know if I've said a lot of bad things about Putin on Twitter, so I don't know if I would be like arrested when I arrived in Russia or not, but I would love to go back. I was just talking about going back to Russia yesterday. I really loved my last trip to Moscow. There are so many things about Castiel. It's really an interesting question. What qualities does Castiel have that are qualities of mine? I think there are a lot of them. And I think that that's because over time, the character melded with me, and I with him to an extent. Castiel was, when the show started, Castiel was just this he was a soldier. He was a warrior, and he was just bound and determined to serve the interests of heaven. And over time, we got to see him unfurl as a bit of a fish out of water who didn't quite feel like he fit in with either angels or humanity, felt like a little bit of an outsider. And I think that's something that I have felt for much of my life. And he became, frankly, softer and more sensitive, and and he always, he tried to do the right thing. He tried to be a good person. These are qualities that I have. But I don't think of myself as like a hardened warrior. And I think that that's how Cass was written at the very beginning. And I think that the writers realized that in order to have the character play to my strengths, he had to morph a bit. So I think that that's often true in television when there's a long-running character. You saw it happen even with like Friends. You saw the characters started as these sort of caricatures on Friends, and then after just about a season, they became a little bit more suited to the actors that were playing them. And I think we had that happen on Supernatural with Cass and Sam and Dean, the characters that lasted the longest on that show. I think ultimately ended up morphing a little bit into the actors that played them. Okay.
Okay, we've got your second fan on-screen question. Her name is Jennifer.
Okay.
Hi, Misha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. First, I want to say I love you, and you're amazing.
Oh, stop. Where are you in the world?
I'm in New Jersey.
Ah, lovely. Are you in a bedroom?
I'm in my attic, actually.
Yeah, it looks like you have a sloped ceiling above you.
I do. It's the very top of my house, yeah.
Why do they keep you in the attic?
Well, this is where I just keep this is where my bedroom is, and I have my Chromebook set up here. So,
great.
But, yeah.
I spent about 20 minutes before we started this trying to find a spot where the light was not making me look like a ghost, and I kind of failed.
The lighting here is terrible too.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's funny because you would think that after like Zooming for 7 months, I would have by now figured out how to like have an appropriate light, but no, I haven't. What's going on in New Jersey? Are you guys under like lockdown again?
Well, I think we're going to be. Honestly, things are opened up right now as far as minimal dining in and out of restaurants and bars and stuff. But I think it's going to go back to outdoors only. Yeah,
we just did that. I'm in Washington. We just did that. So bars are closed, restaurants are outdoor only, and gyms are closed. And it's winter. Like, it's cold and raining. Nobody's going to be going outside to go out. Yeah. So it's all kind of shutting down again.
Yeah, the weather here is terrible too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's bad.
What questions do you have for me?
Well, I wanted to know, what is the one thing that you'll take with you from playing Castiel?
I don't know. I mean, I think there are a lot of things that I'll take with me from that experience. On a professional level, it was fascinating to be able to play a character for so many years. This is something that Jared and Jensen and I discussed recently. The characters really became kind of part of us in a way, which I don't imagine will ever happen again. It was just a function of how long we did this for. But when I was watching Dean's death scene, spoiler alert.
That's okay. I haven't had the courage to watch it yet.
I cried, but I was really crying because I was like, that's Cass's friend Dean dying. Like it's a weird thing on an emotional level to have a blurring of the lines between yourself and your character. And I think that happened with all of us. And it's just because we inhabited them for so long. It became like kind of a facet. The characters became facets of ourselves. And that's a take. I mean, I literally feel like I will take the character away. You know what I mean? Like he's always going to sort of be with me. He's going to be an aspect of my being forever, which is strange. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's something I should maybe double down on therapy and try to untangle myself from this character. But yeah, and then I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things. I feel like the community that sprung up around the show is something that I'll take away. I have this perhaps naive idea that the fandom itself won't go away, or at least won't go away right away. Like that, this community will still carry on after the show is done. And I feel grateful to be a part of that. I think this community does a lot of really lovely things, and is also incredibly supportive of one another. A lot of things. I mean, it's such a big chapter in life, It's like 12 years of my life, and it radically changed the course of my life too. So, yeah. There you go. Do you have any other questions for me?
What is your favorite thing to bake with Weston Mason?
Oh, great question. I probably baking wise, I like to make pies, which is sort of strange because I don't love pie per se, but I do bake a lot of pies, and the kids do seem to love them. So that's probably my go-to.
What's your favorite kind of pie?
My favorite kind of pie? Good question. I think probably strawberry rhubarb, but yeah, strawberry rhubarb is pretty great. Yeah,
I'll have to try that one.
Do you do any baking?
I do. I've made pies. My favorite is apple. I bake a lot of cakes and cookies. I love to bake. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I don't bake enough cakes, I feel like. We do it occasionally, but it's always for like a birthday or something like that. And
I call the one that you and Mason made.
Yeah. There's they occasionally make some really disgusting things. You know what I made recently, which was really fun? Fortune cookies. Have you ever made them?
No.
They're super easy to bake, and then you can put little messages inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did it with like really lewd and inappropriate fortune in cookies, and it was incredibly satisfying. Yeah. So
I would love to try that.
Yes, do it. Well, it's lovely talking to you. What do you think? Do you think that how long have you been a part of the Supernatural fandom?
Probably for about 12, 13 years. Yeah.
And do you think that it'll carry on after the show is gone? I mean, they always say that there's sort of like a shelf life of fandoms, like they kind of dissipate after a show ends. How naive am I being in thinking that somehow this group of people will still keep talking to each other?
I don't think you're naive at all, Misha. Honestly, I think this fandom, this Hespian family will be together for a long time. Very long time.
All right.
We're a tight-knit group.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
All of us. Me too.
Yeah.
I believe that I am. And I believe that neither you or me are being naive about it.
Okay, good. Well, so you haven't watched that last episode, huh?
I haven't had the courage to, because I'll be watching it by myself, so I know I'll be in tears. I was already in tears on 15-18. Castiel is my favorite.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. I this is an embarrassing admission, but when I watched 15-18, I teared up as well. I was like, oh my God, I'm tearing up watching myself. What's wrong with me?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's been so nice talking to you. I wish we could stay and talk longer.
Nice talking to you. Take care, Jen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys. Oh my God, it's so hilarious looking at the questions streaming in. I literally cannot. I can't at all. I have to screen cap again. Okay. Oh, Evergreen Ezra says, hi, thank you for doing this. I want to know if there's anything more you can say about the originally planned finale. Ezra, Illinois. I wish I could ask you. I don't know. Have other cast members disclosed what was going to happen there? Do we know? Steph, can you tell me that an answer to that question? Do you know if we've talked about that? I don't want to be the one that reveals these state secrets. Although, what are they going to do? Fire me? I mean, the show's over. I can't. I feel like somebody said to me, Misha, please don't reveal what was going to happen, but I can't remember for sure if that's true. Yeah, I'll tell you that it was a version. We saw a version of Sam and Dean's Heaven that was popular. I won't give you the details of it, but I'll tell you that it was populated with all of these people from their past, like all of the characters in the show that we have come to love, that Sam and Dean had come to love over the years. They were there in this version of Heaven. But it was literally a matter of they practically could not do that because of COVID restrictions. So a new version of Heaven had to emerge. I am. Hi, Misha. This is Nicole from Puerto Rico. My question is, what is your favorite behind-the-scenes memory with the boys? I don't have a favorite memory. We were close friends for 12 years and got up to a lot of antics. We, like any group of friends, we had like laughing fits, and we had fights. We got pissed off at each other, and we also we had some of the some of my fondest memories of being at work anywhere were on Supernatural. Just a lot of laughing over the years. And, I mentioned earlier, like, I'm never going to have the opportunity to play a character for so long again. I'm also never going to be on a set where there's just so much mirth. We were laughing all the time. And I'm going to miss that for sure. All right, I'm going to see if I have more questions here. Hold on, guys. Joe and Steve. Hi, Misha. This is Joe and Steve. We have a question that haunts us. Why, despite all of Castiel's deaths, did his trench coat remain intact? Well, we know that Castiel has the magical powers of mending and darning. When he lost the capacity to teleport, he didn't lose the ability to magically mend his clothing. It's a funny thing, the way we dealt with Castiel's wardrobe over the years, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it made no sense whatsoever. Castiel, if I got stabbed or shot or something in a scene, you would see a hole ripped in the shirt most of the time. However, sometimes if I got stabbed or shot, it didn't rip the shirt, or it would immediately be repaired. Usually we made the decision that if Castiel got bloodied up or holes in his clothing, that those holes and that blood would stay for the rest of the episode, but that by the time the next episode started, he would be cleaned up. But that wasn't always the case. Sometimes he got cleaned up, in that same episode. But always by the next episode, his wardrobe was fixed. However, sometimes, I said, I will talk about my trench coat for the next half hour. When we started the show, I went in for a wardrobe fitting, and they said, we want you to look kind of like Constantine. We're going to have like a trench coat and a rumpled suit underneath. And so they threw on this, like the first thing I tried on, I was like, all right, great, that's fine.